Well, hello everybody and welcome back to Lisa's Coloring Corner. I had a request from one of my subscribers to color a geometric pattern with my glitter gel pens. Oh, that was such a hard one for me. You know they're my favorite. So that it wouldn't take forever and a year to color the picture, I found a little bit smaller book off my shelf and I decided to color this one. It's more of a simplistic picture that won't take forever, but it's still going to take quite a while to do because it is glitter gel pens. I originally was going to color this like in purples and teals, but then I decided another color scheme that I love is red, black, and yellow. So I decided to go with that. Now, the brand that I'm going to be coloring with, I don't know if all of you are familiar with Sargent Art, that you can get the glitter gel pens by color in boxes of 25. So it comes in a number of colors and I got all of them except for silver because I have a ton of silver, and all silver glitter gel pens are more metallic than they are glitter, and they cover up the black lines, and that drives me crazy. But I did buy, the black is no longer available, but I did get the yellow, red, purple, blue, yellow, yeah, I said yellow, orange. The only color that was not available, and I contacted them about this, was pink. There were no pink packs available. And if you really love a specific color, they also come in packs of 100. But you get 25 of these glitter gel pens for $7. Like I said, the black is no longer available. I will link the red ones down below. And if you click on that and get over to Amazon, you will find all of the other colors also. And then if you're interested in buying any, you can go that way. Rather than me linking all the separate colors, I'll just link one and you can look at the other colors. So let's get out one of each color. So here is a black. And I love the Sargent Art gel pens. They color so nicely. Here is a yellow. I did also contact them to see if they would put out just refills of these, you know, save the environment a little bit. And they said no, they didn't intend on doing that, unfortunately. The one nice thing, I guess, about having the actual pens is you don't look for a refill. You don't have to bother refilling them. Not that it takes real long, but... Okay, now, I figured I would go down with one color, across with another color, and then the little squares would be yellow. So let's see, which one do I want to go down and what do I want to go across? Let's go down with black. I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? So I'm going to start with black. Let's zoom you in a little. Now this may get quite, you know, or not may, it will get quite repetitive. Coloring this, but you guys asked for it, so that's what you're going to get. Now I think these would be, in this particular book anyhow, would be a little hard to color with marker because the lines are so thin. And I don't know about you, but I have a hard time coloring with markers when there's very thin lines, particularly alcohol markers. So that is one reason why I love my glitter gel pens. I just feel out of all my coloring mediums, I have the most control over my glitter gel pens. You know, even more so than the markers. Now, of course, you do have a lot of control with colored pencil. But colored pencil takes even longer than glitter gel pen. As all of you know that color with pencil, especially if you're shading. Now, if you're straight coloring with colored pencil, probably wouldn't take any longer, I guess, than glitter gel pen. But I love the vibrancy of glitter gel pens, and just the ease of the way that it rolls on the paper. Although you can get some real scratchy ones too. And I'm a little shaky today, so I'm going out of the lines a little bit. I hate it when that happens. So I think I will do one down. This is typically what I do when I do a pattern. I start in one area, maybe around in here, especially if the design goes into the spine. Those are a little bit more difficult to do, so I usually start not really in the middle, but yeah, kind of up in here, and that's where I decide what color is going to go where, because I typically have a color scheme in mind ahead of time. And in looking at the pattern, I can determine how many colors I want for that particular picture. Like for this one, I knew that I just wanted it 3 colors. And I usually do color with a very limited color palette. Many times 3 to 4 colors. Okay, I'm going to turn yes. That's one thing with coloring patterns. You do have to turn the book so that it's most comfortable. Let me scribble on a piece of paper there, get this one going. You have to turn the paper so that it's comfortable for you. Now, I'm not sure if I will get this all done in one color in chat. Depending on how far I get in, say, an hour or so, will determine whether I can do this whole page in one sitting. If I have to continue on, again, depending on how long it is, I will just join the 2 parts and have it as one longer color in chat, because I do that a lot. Rather than making separate parts. Just takes, you know, longer to render it and upload it. And when I have like curvy shapes, or like here where I'm coloring against a side, I always outline it first and then fill it in, and that keeps it, you know, within the lines better, if that makes any sense at all. Now again, I am not used to coloring these at a desk. Maybe that's why I'm going out of the lines too. I'm just so used to coloring in my lap. Again, I sit in my rocker recliner, not reclined out, but, and then I curl my feet off to the right side of me, and I kind of color on my lap to the left. And then I have my iPad on the end table to the left of me, and I watch YouTube while I'm coloring. I almost always have YouTube on while I'm coloring. Catch up on some colorist videos. Sometimes I'll watch a movie, or although I never really watch a movie anymore or watch a video. I basically am just listening. Then you kind of look up once in a while, especially depending on what they're saying. Especially if they say, oops. You're like, what'd you do? Now I figure if I go over the lines this way, it's not quite so bad because I'll be going over it in black anyhow. Black will cover it up. So many times if I do have, you know, black in a picture, and if possible, I color the black in first, because then the other colors around the black are much easier to color in, because it doesn't really matter as much if you go over it. The black hides it. Okay, let's do a couple more reds. Now, if I were doing this off camera, I probably would go along and I would do all the reds, so I'm not flipping the book around. But again, because I am doing this on camera, I think I'll, you know, do a few each way. And then I'm going to color in the yellow just so I can see what the pattern's actually going to look like. And again, that's basically what I do when I color a pattern. I completely finish one area to see how it looks, and that pattern basically is repeated throughout the page, and then I just keep repeating it. And if I can't remember how I colored one area, I just refer back to the area that I already colored. I don't know why I'm so jerky today. That does happen to me periodically. You'll see when I'm coloring, every once in a while I'll go, you know, like that. And I don't know if that's a result of the meds I'm on or what. It's hard to color with these at night. I think I had mentioned it previously, because the light up above me shines just perfect on my page, that it shines off the glitter. And I'll come back the next day. I think I'm coloring it just perfect, and I'll come back the next day when it's light out and there's all kinds of white spots left. So now I discovered, instead of putting that light on up above me, I have a lamp behind me. Well, kind of on the side, left side behind me, that I turn on instead. So it's a little bit darker in the living room, but Bob doesn't mind. And that way I can see my page much better. Maybe saves a little on electricity too, because the light up above me is like a mini chandelier kinda. So there's 3 bright lights shining up there, whereas the lamp is like one of those spectrum lamps with oh, I don't know how many. It's like one bulb, but it's got like, I don't know, like 4 bulbs kind of coming out of it. I don't know how to describe it. For those of you who have spectrum lights, you know what I mean. Okay, so I think I'll come down then with one more black. Then we'll go through with some yellow. Okay. Turning you again. Kind of reminds me of the basket weave, huh? Quit shaking, Lisa. My heavens. Doing a bad job on this. And like I said, the black is the color you want to do the neatest. Or whatever color is the darkest in your colors that you picked. So I'm sitting here jabbering away. I never asked how everybody is doing. It is Friday. Yay! When I am recording this. So it is the end of the week. Another week gone. And it is the 21st of June, which means it is the longest day of the year. Or it's called the summer equinox or summer solstice. I don't know, is there a difference between summer equinox and summer solstice? I always called it summer equinox, but I heard somebody else call it the summer solstice. The depressing part about it is from here on out, our days are going to start getting shorter. Boo. I think that's, besides being cold in winter, I think one of the other depressing things about winter is the days are so short. You know, you got to have the lights on by 4:30. And the heat's on all the time. So, yeah, we in the north, winter is expensive. I want to see if I can get on one of those. I don't think it's called a budget plan, but where you pay to Wisconsin Public Service, you pay them your utilities the same amount every month. They just average out what you paid for the year, and then they average it out, and then year round you pay that same amount. So instead of having, you know, a $200 and some bill in the winter and, you know, 50 in summer or whatever it is, it would be the same throughout the year. It's a little bit easier to budget that way. So I do want to contact them, see if I can get set up on that plan. Just seems like that would be easier. Okay, let's put in some yellow. Because this is brand new pen, I'm gonna, there we go, scribble that too. Let's see how it's going to look with yellow in here. Now the way that I color is I always brace myself on the paper with my pinky out. So when I get to the far right edge of the paper, I have a little bit harder of a time because there's nothing to brace my pinky on. So sometimes I'll turn the book upside down and color that way so that I have the other part of the book to rest my hand on and color. Keeps my hand a little bit steadier, I guess. So we'll just do a couple rows of these down. When we get to the bottom, we can kind of see how it's gonna look. I have a number of other video requests out there, and I will eventually get to them. They are all on my video to-do list. My next picture I color is going to be a Jade Summer picture. I can't believe this month is, you know, next week it's going to be coming to an end almost. So it's like, wow, where did that month go? And then after that, I want to do another fairy picture for the other color along I'm in. Okay, yeah, you can see, I hope that wasn't off camera. You can see the yellow is probably going to look kind of nice in there. Let's go back with the black, back in black. Okay, maybe if I bring this down a little bit, it'll be a little more comfortable for me. I don't know. Because, yeah, I'm kind of out of my realm here. Out of my comfort zone for coloring this. Maybe I should have brought the camera over by my chair in the living room and colored there. That would be funny. Don't know how I'd hook you up over there, but I was just coloring a design this morning that I started last night. I'm working on a color by number picture, another one that my grandson picked out, and it's in one of my newer books, one of my mosaic books. I have a bunch that are the circle mosaics, and I think I had that in my finished pages last month, where one was really teeny tiny circles and the other one wasn't as bad. But circles don't bother me too much as far as coloring. This picture that I'm doing, oh my heavens, it not only has teeny tiny squares, and squares are so much harder to color, but on top of that, the numbers are so light and so teeny tiny that sometimes it's really hard to determine whether it's like maybe a, oh, I don't know, a 18 or a 19 or 18 and a 13. I mean, it's really hard to see. So sometimes you kind of just guess. And you don't know ahead of time what the picture's going to be. So I just am doing the first one in the book that he picked out. So we shall see what that picture is going to be, but I just can't, you know, normally me, I have to, once I start a picture, I have to finish it. Well, that one I have to periodically put down because I'm going cross-eyed. So I colored on it for a while last night, and then I'm like, okay, that's enough of that. Let's do something I really enjoy. So I got out a different pattern book. Get out my glitter gel pens and started coloring one of those in. They're just the most relaxing books, along with Sun Life drawing books and color by number books. I'm still thinking about having one of these months, having a color by number color along. I know there are so many of you out there that love color by number as much as I do. And I know Zoe does too. So I would maybe ask you, Zoe, if you wanted to maybe do a color by number color along in the future. I think she's already had a color by number color along in the past. I think it was earlier this year. So I might wait a little bit before doing it. Next month I'm already in a coloring or a color along. So it wouldn't be next month. August is Creative Haven, so don't think I'd want to do it in August, because I will be participating in that color along quite a bit. I love Coloring Haven. They just have such a wide variety of books. I mean, they have books that appeal to everybody. And they're so inexpensive. And yet, they're on nice paper. Much better than Amazon paper, which I believe is, yeah, that's what this is on. Now with glitter gel pens, I don't care what kind of paper it's on. With glitter gel pens, it doesn't matter. Another good feature of glitter gel pens. I did have one kind of paper that I was having kind of a problem with glitter gel pens, and that was my Spiroglyphics book. Typically, and in the other book, because there's a couple of them out there, and I don't know if you're familiar with those books, but they're also like a mystery. You don't know what the picture is, but instead of them being dots or circles or something like that, it's almost like a record where it goes around in a circle and around and around and around and around, and you color that in. And yeah, the one book I didn't have a problem in at all, because it is very, very smooth paper. They're printed on really nice paper. But, and I don't know, now that I'm thinking of it, I don't know if it was the specific book or just that picture. Maybe it was the gel pen I was using, now that I think of it. But yeah, the gel pen didn't want to seem to lay down on the paper. It was real, not just streaky, but it seemed like it just didn't want to, the ink didn't want to like stick to the paper, if that makes any sense. But those are fun books too. They're big books. They don't fit in my little cubbies of my bookcase, so I gotta have them up on top. So yeah, they are oversized books, that's for sure, but they are a lot of fun. The only thing that's a downside to those books is, like this book, they have very thin lines. But you'll find that going out of the lines just a little bit on those pictures, you never even notice. Kind of like this, you know, even though I'm going out of the lines a little bit because these lines are so thin. when you're done with the design, you won't even notice. So again, I'll do a few black ones down. Then we'll do some red ones across. Anybody have any plans for the weekend? I don't, which again is fine by me. I do plan on making some more videos today. Then I'll have to run into town and run my errands. And then maybe tonight record. Tomorrow I want to make the video on how I frame my diamond paintings. So I'm not sure when all these videos that I'm recording are going to be up on YouTube. Some of them I'll be releasing next week. Excuse me. Get a drink here. And by being able to record extra videos on the weekend, then I don't have to record as much bright and early in the morning, or, you know, before Maddie comes, or late at night after she leaves. Particularly after she leaves, it's kind of hard to make one because I just want to rest and relax then. She keeps me hopping. She's such a cutie pie. But she is 3. This week she's just been so adorable. Oh my gosh. We had to go over to the park every day. And her favorite thing is the swings. She'll go down the slide a couple times, but then it's Grandma swing, Grandma swing. I'm like, oh, okay. And I mean, she would if I had it in me. I think she'd get pushed on that swing for hours. She just loves it. And now that she's old enough, she can go on the big girl swing. And she always wants me to push her high. And I don't want to go too high with her if she were to fall off. But she hangs on pretty darn good. And we were talking out there, oh, especially the day before yesterday. And she's just jabbering away. And it was just so cute. All the stuff she was saying. And oh, it was just adorable. Till Grandma's arms started giving out. One day we had to come back because these dark storm clouds were starting to come. One of the other moms looked on her phone at the radar and it said that it was 10 minutes away. And she walked from across Main Street. She lives more than 10 minutes away. And she had just gotten there not that long before. She had one that was real little, maybe, I don't know, he was crawling around, so maybe 1.5 years, somewhere in there. But then the other one must have been probably 2. So the other one probably was maybe 1. So the 1-year-old didn't, you know, raise a fuss about leaving. Oh, it was a little girl, that's right. And then, but this boy, he's like, what? And she said, it's gonna rain. And yeah, the dark clouds were getting closer and closer. And I'm like, Maddie, Maddie, we gotta go. It's gonna rain. And of course, she didn't want to leave. I said, Maddie, look up at the clouds. And she said something about rain coming. I said, yeah, we gotta get going. And even though I don't live very far from that area, I think we'll do one more black. You know, it's still, you know, it's just a couple minutes from my house. But still, those dark clouds are moving in fast. So I did manage to get her to leave. That's the hardest part about taking her over there is, you know, kids never want to leave. You take them swimming, you take them anywhere, and they never want to leave. You have to bribe them with something. I know all of you that are parents out there are shaking your head. Yes, I know what you mean. So I don't mind taking her over there. It's, yeah, just trying to get her to come back. And if she's going down the slide, she'll hold her one finger up and she'll go, just one more time, one more time. And she'll come down. She goes, one more time, one more time. It's like, Madison, one more time. Yeah, that one more time ends up being 5 more times. Until you really put your foot down and you're like, okay, we gotta go. That's enough of one more time. I suppose a person shouldn't let her get away with that. When she says one more time, it should only be one more time. But it's hard to do that to a cute 3-year-old. And she's having so much fun. But there comes a time when you have to leave. Especially that one day we had hardly gotten over there. And Heather always texts me when she's leaving work so that I can make sure Maddie's changed and I have all of her things together and things like that. So we had barely gotten over there and Heather texted me that she's on her way and I'm like, uh-oh. Said, we're at the park. Maddie always calls it a park. It's a school playground, but it's park to her. And she always associated the slide with the park. So her slide, Heather brought over a small one for my backyard. And she would always call it a park. That's not a park. That's a slide. She still calls it a park. Oh man, that funny thing. You guys getting sick of hearing me talk about my grandkids? I guess that's kind of my life now because I basically don't get out of the house. And, you know, that's my job, is watching them every day. Okay, you're not coloring good. Typically, these pens don't stop. They're really good and juicy gel pens, which we want just like the juicy markers. We want nice and juicy gel pens. See, now when you come into the black here, you really don't have to be too concerned if you're going over that, because you're not going to see it anyhow. I mean, you don't want to go all the way over. That you will see, but I'm not too worried if I go over it a little bit, so I don't draw the line across them. So again, it makes sense to do the dark color first. Just makes things a little easier. Let's see, what else is going on in the Geezy household? Not a heck of a lot. Maybe I should only do, maybe I'll, yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll only do the red up to where I ended with the black. Make things easier on myself. Now, the one thing I do want to mention is put up my video Wednesday morning, I believe, on the, I announced the 2,000 subscriber giveaway winner. And Susan Howard, you have not contacted me yet. And I realize it's only been a couple days, so. But, again, I do want to mention that you only have until Sunday at midnight Central Standard Time to get a hold of me. I would hate for you to have to forfeit your giveaway gifts, if you want to call them that. And I would have to redraw another winner. So, I hope she contacts me in time. I hope it's not something where she's on vacation all week. I would hate to have that happen, and so she didn't, you know, she'd unplug from social media and not be able to get back to me in time because of that. But I guess rules are rules, right? She probably didn't expect to win. I don't think any of us expect to win a giveaway if, you know, you enter into one. I don't enter into any giveaways anymore now that I have, you know, more subscribers, and I really don't need anything more. I have plenty of stuff, as you guys know. Plenty of books and coloring mediums. And of course, Lisa has full set syndrome, so I always have to have the full set, the biggest set of everything. Who else has full set syndrome out there? If there's 120 set of something, I don't want the 50 set or the 75 set. No, no, no. I want all the colors that are available. I think many of us are like that. I had in the past colored a picture from Jennifer Stay with Coloring Bliss. She had created a picture that you could download for free, and it stated full set syndrome. And then it had like a crayon on there, a Copic marker, just a whole bunch of different coloring mediums to color into. And I thought, oh yeah, that describes me to a T. So I had to color that. Can't remember if I did I think I might have done a coloring chat on that. But yeah, that picture was so cute. I had to download it and color it. I just got a text from my daughter. I wasn't able to read it all. But if you've seen my previous color and chat, I was talking about my daughter who really hurt her finger and they figured she was going to need surgery. She just got back from the doctors and she doesn't need surgery on it. I can't believe it. I guess it's really badly dislocated. But I didn't get to read the rest of the text. Just kind of popped up on my iPad screen for, you know, a split second, and I was able to read that. You probably heard the ding dong. I didn't know that text messages still came through when you had it in airplane mode. I always turn my phone, I turn airplane mode on whenever I record. And evidently that is just for not having phone calls and stuff coming through. Because, yeah, I always get texts coming through yet. Which, thank heavens, I don't get a lot of texts. And the phone calls I get typically are just robocalls and annoying calls. You know, you'll get some that says something about, oh, you know, you recently contacted us about this or that, you know, like car insurance or something. And it's like, I never contacted you about anything. Or back braces or hearing aids. I get those too. It's like, oh my heavens. If I was interested in that, I would contact you. Well, probably wouldn't contact them. I'd contact somebody here in town. So they are so annoying. So from now on, if I don't recognize the number on my phone, I don't answer it. You know, if it's you know, if it comes up and it says Akron, Ohio, or someplace from New York or something like that, I don't answer it. If it's important enough, leave me a message. Maybe that's not a good philosophy, because I know I have gotten some messages and it was actually something for me, and I did have to call them back. But that's okay. I'd rather do that. Bob always answers his phone. And so many times it's those stupid sales calls too. And he just, you know, which is maybe what I should do. I should go ahead and answer them. And then, like he does, he just says, you know, take me off your calling list. And when you say that, they have to legally take you off their calling list. Which eventually should help you in getting less calls, because as far as I know, all of these names and numbers are shared amongst many companies. I don't know where they initially get them from. Maybe from something you purchased, or, but yeah, a lot of companies will share those mailing lists and phone numbers, and it's like, that's not fair. So then you really get bombarded, or junk mail. Ugh. I think now, because of the internet and calling, you know, they can automatically dial so many things, and then even if there's nobody on the other end, they know what time you picked up the phone and said hello. So then somebody will eventually call back at that time. So it's so irritating when you do pick up the phone and there's nobody on the other end and you figure you know what it is. But I think because of all technology these days, you don't get quite as much junk mail. I mean, you still get junk mail. Offers for credit cards, offers for loans. I get a ton of those. Offers for magazines. But I think a lot of it comes through the phone now. It's like, leave me alone. Oh, I didn't do this one. It's so irritating. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox now. But don't you find it irritating? Ugh. It's like you're invading my privacy. How the heck did I get on that? Good heavens. Just kind of go from one subject to the next. Yeah, you'll notice I cut all my fingernails. I was actually going to leave them long. And actually paint my fingernails. But I am so used to having them short. It was really bugging me having them a little bit longer. Because, yeah, I mean, they definitely weren't long by any means. But for me, they were long. Because I like keeping mine nice and short. As you can tell. And I decided, nah, I'm just going to cut them all off again. And I always see so many of you, probably the vast majority of you color tubers, always have such pretty nails, and you always got such pretty nail polish on. And I never wear any. But I do want to paint my toenails for the summer. Always looks nice, you know, when you're wearing sandals all summer. If we ever get summer here. It's been kind of chilly again this past week. We still haven't gotten summer. That's the problem. Although this next week, we are supposed to get in the upper 70s. Woohoo! And then by the end of the week, we are supposed to hit 80 degrees. I think we've hit 80 degrees once so far. That's ridiculous. I mean, it's 3/4 of the way through June. What a cold, cold summer. And summer's too short the way it is to have such a cold summer. I know you guys down in the south are like, oh, we'll take some of that cold. Okay, you can have some of our cold. You send up some of your heat and we'll just all be hunky-dory. Fair trade to me. I haven't even been able to take the kids to the splash pad or anything yet. And I know Maddie would love that. I think Jaden too. Have to remind Heather to bring down their swimming suits. And make sure the weather doesn't look like showers. Was supposed to rain all weekend, and I'm like, okay, when am I gonna mow lawn? But now it's not supposed to really rain tomorrow. But we're supposed to get quite a bit of rain Sunday and into Monday. Boy, every night, you know, you see more and more of this horrific flooding everywhere. Can't remember where it was that I seen last night on the news, but I mean, just total devastation in these areas. All these homes are gonna, you know, just be totally destroyed. I suppose everybody's homeowner's insurance is gonna go up, because I bet you these insurance companies are gonna end up having to pay billions out. Because it's just, the flooding's across so many states. It's not like it's just one area. It's like everywhere. Have any of you had any problems in your area with flooding, and has it damaged your house or anything? I hope not. I keep thinking of all these people, and I know a person shouldn't say this, but I'm such an animal lover. I really worry about the pets. You know, when all those horrific fires were out west too in California, I was, yes, you're worried about the people, but I was also worried about their pets. And you'll see some stories about how these people go back to their homes once the fire is, you know, gone, and their house is completely ash. Nothing left but maybe the fireplace chimney standing. And their, you know, beloved dog or whatever is gone. But, you know, you'll hear some stories where they'll come back to their house and the dog is there. And it's like, oh, I love happy endings. That is just so awesome. And we're at almost an hour. So we'll continue on for a bit. Again, I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to get done today, because there's a number of other videos I do have to get recorded yet. The problem with the glitter gel pens is I knew I had to record it during the day. Because I think, anyhow, if I tried to record this at night, the reflection and glare off the glitter gel pen, I don't think it would work too well. I think it would just glare, and I don't think you guys would be able to see it too well. Or possibly me, depending on where the light was shining on it. It's the only drawback to glitter gel pens is it's so, reflective of light, so reactive to light, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Oh, update on the baby birdies. For those of you who are new to my channel, I have a pair of mourning doves nesting in my garage. They already had one batch, and they only have 2 babies at a time. I thought that was kind of unusual. But yeah, their first batch of babies have come and gone. Now this batch of babies are getting very big. I am able to see them, and yeah, they are, I think, are about ready to leave the nest. Mom and Dad are leaving them alone for longer and longer periods of time, like they did last time. so that they would go out and venture out, turning you, venture out on their own, and eventually, you know, start eating on their own. But yeah, they are getting big. They're flapping their wings around and getting much, much more active up there rather than just sitting still like they had been. And I'm like, please don't fall off the edge of that ledge. Edge of that ledge. Because they nested up on a shelf that Bob put up so that we had more storage. And the shelf isn't extremely wide. It's, oh gosh, I don't know, maybe 6 feet long, but it's, I don't know, maybe 2 feet wide. So it's not real wide. And last time we had one of the babies fall off the edge and my dog Bella got at it. Didn't kill it. I got her fast enough, but I thought she had broken its wing. And evidently not, because it seemed to get better, and I think they both flew out the garage. Because I haven't seen it, you know, I didn't see it around at all after that, so. But I don't want one of them to fall off again. I did put a big sheet of cardboard underneath. I have some firewood over there. And that's what the last baby birdie fell into. And then somehow managed to get on the floor of the garage. And yeah, that's when Bella got it. And so we had to try to catch that baby bird, and it went and hid underneath my car. Poor thing was scared to death. I don't blame it. We did eventually catch it, put it back up in the nest. Each time they have a brood of babies, they build up their nest a little bit more. If they have up to 6 broods a summer, I can't imagine what the size of that nest's going to be at the end of summer. Because it was built up quite a bit more just for this second batch. So I imagine shortly after these 2 are gone, Daddy will be bringing in more sticks for Mom to build up the nest some more. The first nest was horrible, and maybe that's why the one baby fell off. Because it was made very haphazardly. They must not have real good nest building skills. And that's what it said online too, is that their nests are just kind of thrown together. But after the first batch left and they kind of built up their nest a little more, it actually looks like a nest now. And I think that's why I couldn't see the babies for so long. Even when the one time when Mom and Dad were both gone, which never happens. One or the other is always up there. But for some strange reason, they both had left. So I quick went over there with the folding chair I have out in the garage. Tried to peek up in there so I could see the babies, and no. Edge of the nest was built up enough where I couldn't see them. I knew they had to have hatched by then, because Mama had been sitting on the nest for quite a while. But it's hard to tell because these little babies don't make a sound. They don't make a peep, even when Mom and Dad are feeding them. You know, usually you hear the babies squawking away when they're getting fed. Not these guys. They do not make a sound. It's like, what good baby birdies. So quiet. There was a mourning dove across the street this morning. Must have been up in the big maple tree that's by the school. And I knew it wasn't the mom or the dad because I seen the mommy was still up on the nest. It was bright and early this morning. And the dad always sits. It's like he waits for me to open the garage door. So he most of the time is sitting on the highline wire across the street. And he was there. But I would hear, you know, you do hear other mourning doves around too. And there's the other one that I heard. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Tickle. This other mourning dove must have had a cold. Or it was yelling too much. Cooing too much. Something. And I heard this the other morning too, and I'm like, what is that sound? And I kind of figured out this morning, it is a mourning dove, because it's still that coo, coo, coo. But this one sounded so funny. It's like, yeah, it had a hoarse throat. Its voice was like, caw, caw, caw. I can't repeat it. I can't make the same sound, but I could tell it was a mourning dove, but my gosh. Oh, it sounded so funny. It's like, were you out drinking last night? Smoked maybe too much. Oh, Lordy. Seen a really pretty cardinal the other day. Typically, I only see them at winter. And they're so gorgeous in wintertime because, you know, everything is dull and yucky. There's no color. There's no leaves on the trees, and all you see is white. And then you'll spot this bright red in the trees. Oh, it's so pretty. Cardinals and hummingbirds were my mom's favorite birds. She loved them both, and I love hummingbirds. I think they are my favorite bird. There's so many different kinds of hummingbirds. And they're just all gorgeous, and they're so petite and little. They just look so dainty. I have a hummingbird feeder that I still didn't get out. My kids gave it to me last year for Mother's Day, and with Bob being sick, I never got it out because I'm going to have a hook hung underneath the soffit where I want it outside. And now this year I totally forgot about it. But I kind of want it by the front window so I can see it. Because, yeah, I think they are so cute. Just like watching all the different butterflies and moths. Moths can be really pretty too. I don't think I've ever seen a moth so big. And it was hanging. I was looking out my front living room window, and something caught my eye, and I'm like, what the heck is that? And so I went over to the window. I didn't know if it was dirt or a bird. And I went over there, and it was a huge, huge moth. And it had them, you know, furry antennas and stuff. And, yeah, it was just gigundo. It was practically the size, well, not quite the size of my hand, but it was big. It was pretty cool. was going to tell Bob about it when he came back inside, and then I forgot. By the time I remembered, of course, it was gone. How is everybody's mosquito population this year? Oh my God, ours is horrible. And I blame it on the wet spring that we had. Probably hatched a gazillion mosquitoes. And if it's only the females that bite, like they say, my heavens, I don't know if there are really that many mosquitoes, or else the females outnumber the males by a gazillion to 1. Because there sure are a lot of females biting. Oh. Especially at dusk. Oh my heavens, you don't want to be out in the backyard. And of course, that's when Maddie wants to drive her Jeep that we got her for her birthday. So it's like, get out the bug spray. And sometimes that doesn't even work. Oh, excuse me. And once I start coughing, I can't stop. Oh my gosh. I have Bella sitting here looking at me. I think I may have to pause and take her out potty. So why don't I quick do that, and I will be back in a moment. And we are back. She didn't even go, that stinker. She keeps wanting to go out there because she knows them birdies are there. She could smell them up there even before you could see them. Because she always wanted to go out there, and she wants to go on that side of the garage every time and sniff and sniff. Well, now she can see them, so it's even worse. So she always looks like she's got to go potty, but she doesn't. She's just like, ha, I'm going to fool you. I didn't think she should have to go yet, but you never know. So yeah, she's sitting there looking up at them. These birds are looking down at her. Like, we're not going to be dumb like our half brother or sister and fall off the edge. I was going to ask Bob if we could maybe put something up on that shelf so that there's a little bit of a lip. Mom and Dad could get in yet, but the babies wouldn't fall off the edge. Because these two are getting, like I said, quite active. But I think if they did fall, they're old enough where they could fly. The last one that fell was younger. And I thought one was, oh, got a hair there. I thought one was so much smaller than the other. No, it's not. It's just maybe a little bit, but it's not near as little as what I thought it was. It must have just been hunkered down more than the other one. It's pretty big too. They got to be like 3/4 of the size as Mom and Dad already. So they're pretty big. And then Mom will fly in there and they're like, feed me, feed me. So they'll be pecking at her like crazy by her mouth. And Mama's like, leave me alone. She'll turn the other way or kind of not really peck back at them, but she's like, go find your own food. You're big enough. I've watched over you long enough. It's time to go out on your own. They're out there by themselves again. Like I said, Mom and Dad are leaving them on their own quite a while now. Time for the babies to leave again. But then we'll have some more babies in there. When I first looked up mourning doves and heard they had up to like 6 broods of 2 each, I'm like, holy Hannah. Do other birds have more than 1 batch of babies each summer? I was wondering about that. Or if they only have their 1 batch in spring, like the robins and stuff. There are so many robins here this year. Seems like there's more than normal. Everywhere you look, there's robins. Which is okay. I like robins. It's our state bird after all. Yesterday was National Bald Eagle Day. Those birds are just magnificent. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous. Every once in a while we get to see one in person. Not in town here, of course, but one time when we were going out to eat, we were going to Mosinee, and it was kind of on a side road. And there was a big bald eagle up in the tree. They're just such magnificent big birds. Gorgeous, gorgeous. When I was still married and lived out in the country, we lived across from where there was a river, kind of down the hill. And there was a pair of nesting bald eagles that would come back every year. And so we always got to see them and getting their babies to fly, and oh, it was so neat. When you see them soaring in the sky. I didn't even know we had a National Bald Eagle Day. They were talking about it on the news. And then when you see them in zoos, don't you feel sorry for them? That's why I hate going to zoos. I just feel more sorry for all the animals that are in there. I can't even enjoy a zoo. It's like, oh, let these animals be free. Especially like tigers, and I don't care how big of an area they have to roam. Still not like being out in the wild. They had a story on recently on the news that there were a whole bunch of wild horses, Mustangs and stuff from out west that were caught, and they have a shortage of people buying these wild horses and taming them. And I thought, why are you catching them then? I feel sorry for them too. But I guess they said if they don't catch them, the population gets too big out there and they would just end up starving or something. But I thought the amount of wild horses out west was dwindling, but I guess not. I was wrong yet again. Nothing new. Alrighty, we're getting there. We're getting there, folks. Is this getting monotonous for anybody? See, to me, these are just so much fun. I love coloring these patterns. Like I said, once you figure out the colors, now this one's very simple. I mean, it's a very simplistic pattern once you decide what colors you're using. And that's why I picked this one for the color and chat. But, you know, some of them can get pretty intricate. And that's another request that I had, was to do a real intricate one. Now that one would not be a one-part color and chat, no matter how long. Because the intricate ones take hours and hours. So even if I did a few 2-hour color and chats, it would still be a few parts long. But I will eventually get to that one too. It's just, like I said, I have so much going on this month. And there's a number of other videos in my queue to do. And I have a lot of it sitting on my desk right now. I got to get this desk cleaned off. Oh my heavens. I have a lot of things on here from past videos that I've made that I haven't found a home yet. So yeah, it's kind of creeping in on me. I don't have as much room to color. Room for the book right here, but if I'm coloring with a big set of markers or something that I need off to the side, yeah, it gets a little crowded. Or especially if I'm coloring like with colored pencils and I need my color chart and my pencil sharpener and this, that, and the other thing. I do intend on someday getting back to that Johanna Basford picture I started with Prismacolor pencils a while ago. And yeah, probably won't be this month anymore. This month is just flying by. But that's another video that's on my list to do, is do another color and chat from that picture. Won't get it done in one more color and chat. That's probably going to be a few parts long too yet. Because we all know pencil takes quite a while when you're blending colors. And yeah, I'm not sure what time it is. I still have to look at this clock on my desk and why it quit working, because it certainly can't be the battery. It hasn't been hanging here long enough for the battery to go out, so I don't know if it's the battery compartment, if something's not connecting right in there. I was going to have Bob look at it. He's my fix-it man. He should be home in a little bit. Normally he works till 2, but they work a little bit longer every day during the week for the summer months so that they can get off at, I can't remember if it's 12 or 12:30. 12:30, I think. So yeah, they just add on a little bit every day so they can get out early. So, and it's about 1 in the afternoon now. That's right, I didn't have lunch. I didn't eat. I forgot. And I'm not a breakfast eater at all. Just not hungry when I get up. I know that's not good. I know you should always eat breakfast. But yeah, food is the last thing on my mind when I wake up. I need to wake up first. Takes me forever to wake up in the morning. I need to just kind of sit around for a little bit. A lot of times I will get out my coloring and watch YouTube and just relax and finish waking up. This morning I woke up extra early. You know, I don't go to bed until like 12:30. Well, this morning I woke up at 4:45. And of course, as soon as I move, Bella's instantly awake. And if it's super early, I just have her lay back down. But this morning, and this never happens to me. This is the first time that I can think of. I had to go to the bathroom so bad. I'm like, okay, I have to get up. There is no option. So, once I'm up, I can't go back to sleep. So yeah, a little tired. Might have to take a nap this afternoon. Oh. Oh, I have one more story about Maddie. Sorry if I'm boring you guys. She loves to play in my kitchen sink with, she's got a set of these. They're not Barbie dolls, but they're her dollies. Don't call them babies, because they're not babies. She'll get irritated with you. Not dollies, they're babies. No, opposite. They're not babies, they're dollies. And so, you know, they're just small. They're like maybe that big. And so she loves going in my kitchen sink. We fill it up with a little bit of water. And she plays in there washing her dollies. Well, she discovered my hand soap. And so every time she would go over there, she'd have to have some hand soap so she can wash the dolly's hair. And I'm like, nah, I guess I really don't care. You know, how expensive is hand soap? If she's having a good time, let her at it. Well, yesterday, because all week, that's what she would do in the morning. She'd play, wash her dollies. And one day, she played over there for a long, long time. Must have been a good 45 minutes to an hour. That was really nice. And, yeah, yesterday she was playing with them in the morning, and I knew she had the soap out, but again, I'm like, nah, no biggie. Looked over a little while later when she was about done playing, because she said, "All done, Grandma." And I went over there and I looked. Here, she had taken the hand soap dispenser. She must have discovered that you don't have to pump the top to get the soap out. You can just turn it upside down and squeeze it. She had dumped every last drop of that soap into the water. That water was so soapy. My sponge still has soap in it, and her doll's hair was just full. Oh my gosh. So yeah, needless to say, I need to get some more hand soap, but I don't want to put it up there because she's going to empty it out again. I went to wash my hands last night after supper, and I reached for the dispenser, and I'm like, oh yeah, there isn't any. Because I think I do have more. I have a refill to just refill it. rather than buying new dispensers all the time. It's just cheaper to buy the refills. So I think I didn't use it all up. I think I have some more of the refill in the bathroom cupboard, but yeah, I don't want to really refill it up and leave it by the kitchen sink, or it's going to be empty again. One day she put a bunch in her hair in the front and I couldn't wash it out. Oh, I told Heather, I said, yeah, she was playing with her dollies and she put a bunch of soap in her hair. Heather goes, that's okay. She needs a bath tonight anyhow. I go, oh, okay. Well, she's got soap in her hair already then. Ah, such a stinker. Such a cutie pie, but such a stinker. Misty, my cat, is still blue. It's getting lighter, but for you new subscribers, Maddie had decided to take some of my acrylic paint out of the bedroom. I have it hanging in a, oh, it's designed for paint. It was from Michael's. And I have a lot of different color paints for my diamond paintings. When I make the frames, I paint them. And yeah, she got into my paints. Picked out like 4 or 5 colors. And of course, the darkest color she poured all over the cat. And I describe it in more detail in a past color and chat, but essentially that was what happened. It's this beautiful deep turquoise color. Misty's quite pretty. And it is getting lighter, but I imagine it won't all be gone until she loses all that fur. Of course, she's pretty hairy. She does lose a lot of fur anyhow, and it doesn't look as bad until you kind of ruffle her fur backwards, you know. Then you can see all the blue. And on her tummy and her one paw. Oh my gosh. That was not a good day. And yeah, I had just checked on her. Little bugger moves fast. Like when she's in this room too. If she's quiet, you know she's into something she shouldn't be. Right? Kids are quiet, you gotta worry. It's when they're making noise and you can hear what they're doing, that they're okay. But yeah, silence is not a good thing when kids aren't sleeping and they are awake. I hear somebody out there mowing their lawn. It's nice and sunny today. It's getting gorgeous out. I'll have to change out of my pants and get back in the shorts. Yay! Nothing better than wearing shorts, going barefoot outside. I love going barefoot in the summer. If I take Bella for a walk or take Maddie and stuff, I always go barefoot. It's just something about barefoot and summer. They go hand in hand. The only time I wear shoes is, of course, when I'm mowing lawn. Don't want to do that. I'm klutzy enough where I know something disastrous would happen. Hence why I said in my other color and chat, when Tanya hurt her finger so bad, that it runs in the family. We're all kind of klutzy. Maybe I will finish the black lines going down, and then I will take a break from this picture and get some of my other videos done, and then come back and do this. I'll merge everything together so it's just one long color and chat though. And yeah, I think this will end up being pretty long. This one will probably be over 2 hours. Do you think you can take that? Hopefully everybody is coloring something on their own, because I can't imagine watching me color this. I think it would bore you to tears. Because I know it would me if I was watching it. You know, there's a big difference between actually coloring the picture and watching somebody color something like this. I have lately been, I don't know if everybody noticed, but I will look out on Amazon for the Amazon deals, the lightning deals and things like that. And I've been posting them on the community board. Any deals that I find, like this morning I posted 3 of them. Do those interest you guys, or do they irritate you guys? I figured I would, you know, I only put up the things, of course, that are color related. If there are some pencils, or Cali Art still has their 100 set of markers for $39.99. That is a good deal. And that's why I posted that again. I had that, I think it was up yesterday. And then I noticed they still have them at $39.99. I think their smaller set is at $50. Is on, I don't know if you want to call it a sale, on, has a deal out, I guess we'll say. I think their smaller set does too. And then the AEN still has a really good deal on their 100 set of glitter gel pens. And I've already tried their gel pens. They're pretty nice. And they do last longer than your typical gel pen. That's one thing about these. As much as I like them, it seems like the smoother that they color, the faster the ink runs out. Because these seem to run out of ink kind of fast. And yeah, I think it's because they lay down so nice that maybe more ink comes out at once. Although those that last longer, I think the tube inside is bigger around, and so they do have more ink. And that's what those AEN glitter gel pens claim, that there's 30% more ink in them. So yeah, that's a pretty good deal. What was the last thing? I posted 3 of them this morning. Oh, the Castle Art pencils. And Castle Art, for being a budget-friendly pencil, are actually very nice. I bought their largest set, you know, full set syndrome again. I think it's a set of 120. And I did a swatch video of those. And yeah, they're a really nice pencil. Very vibrant colors, a nice variety of colors. So I thought I would post that up on the community board too. But I don't want to irritate anybody with, you know, posting those every day if, you know, you guys aren't interested in them. So let me know down in the comments below whether I should keep posting those or not. If you guys even see them, do you see those on the community board? Or don't you pay attention to that? Yeah, I would kind of like to know whether I should continue that or not. Bella's laying in the sun over here. Sounded like she was snoring. It's so funny when Misty's laying on my chair that I have by my drafting table in the living room where I do my diamond painting. That cat snores like crazy. Wow. I always know where she is when she's sleeping. My gosh. That chair, my drafting table, is real close to my chair, my rocker recliner, so I can hear her real easy. And yeah, she snores away. Oh my heavens. Really funny to hear a cat do that. Although, I've heard some dogs that really snore. But I don't hear many cats that snore like that. Oh, my TV must have been inactive for too long. I think the DVR shut off. Yours do that too. If you don't change the channel or the volume or whatever for a certain period of time, must be like a power saver or something. And unless you hit that you want to continue watching TV, it'll shut off. Doesn't shut off the TV though. So that stays on. But yeah, I can tell the TV, you can't hear any sound, so I bet you the DVR went off. Because yes, I always have my TV going. Can't stand just a quiet house. Drives me crazy. Bob, if he's, you know, doing something where he's not going to be paying attention to the TV and stuff, he'll shut it off, and I'm like, it's too quiet in here. Even if I'm going to kick back and take a nap or something, like when I'm getting Maddie to sleep, and if I kind of snooze with her, I have to have the TV on. I turn the volume down, but I still have to have it on. Crazy, I know. I know I'm not alone in that, though. You guys do the same thing, don't you? Fess up. Two more of these black lines going down. And then, yeah, I think I will stop for now. And then continue it later, because, yeah, I have a few other videos I want to get recorded yet today. Time is so precious when I don't have the kids. Weekends go by so fast. Before you know it, it's Sunday night again. I hate Sunday nights. They're as bad as Monday mornings, right? Bob will come home on Thursday night and I go, one more day, honey. Just kind of looks at me and he's like, yeah. Yeah. Well, he works hard during the day. He's got a very physical job. Unless Jerome, the other guy, is gone, because then he has to do his job, and that's mostly forklift work. Getting the pallets of cheese, unloading the trucks that come in, and getting it all into the coolers. But yeah, otherwise they work pretty hard over there. Well, most of them anyhow. I hear him complain about some of them, and I'm like, how do they get away with that? There's one guy that calls in sick constantly, and if it's not himself, it's his kids or it's his wife. If his kids are sick, why is he staying home? Or he'll call in sick and Bob will see him after he gets home. Bob will see him out and about. It's like, oh yeah, you're real sick. I'm like, how does he get away with that? And then when he's at work, he's not really working anyhow. Takes him 4 times as long to do 1 block of cheese as it takes everybody else. And Bob gets so mad. I was going to say furious. I was not going to swear. And he's already told. It's a husband and wife that owns this company. And they really like Bob because they know he's a sweetheart and he's a hard worker on top of it. And that's a hard combo to find in people. So they really value him around there, as they should. And he's told them, you know, how useless this guy is, and you know why he's still there. And the owners are just, I mean, they're very nice people too, and I think they don't have it in their heart to fire him. Bob's like, let him go, let him collect his unemployment for a while, and then let him find another job. And I said, I totally agree with you. There is, if he was working anywhere else, he wouldn't get away with that. Same with this other guy that works there. He is a nephew to the owners, and he knows it, and he totally takes advantage of it. So he too, you know, all of a sudden just won't show up one day, or he sits and jabbers more than he works, complains constantly, and he's another one that, you know, would never get away with that at another job. But he knows, especially with being related to the bosses, that they wouldn't fire him. So, you know, and that's what I told Bob. I said, well, these people know that they can get away with it without being reprimanded and no consequences. So, sure, why not continue doing it? So many other places, it's, you know, 3 strikes and you're out. Some places like where Heather works, for certain things, you're deducted a certain number of points, or you're given points, I should say. Like if you call in sick before a holiday or right after a holiday, you get so many points. And you call in sick too much, you get so many points. And you get it up to a certain number of points, you're given a warning. You go beyond that, you're gone. And I said, that's how it should be. They should do that philosophy down there. Okay, and on that happy note, don't you love how I end my color in chat sometimes? I'm so sorry. Oh, just speaking my mind today. Oh, as always, you know, we always speak our minds. So, how is that looking? I kind of like it. So, when I continue on, we will finish the red, and then I'll fill in the yellow squares. So, we're over halfway done, so I don't think it's going to be real long. It's probably still going to be, you know, a good hour to finish this, I would think. So, yeah, this will definitely be a long color in chat, because the first one, before I paused, I know was over an hour. Now we're at 40 minutes. So, yeah, this is going to be a long one. Oh, lordy, lordy. Okay, so I am going to leave it here for now. I will be right back for you guys. It's going to be either later today when I finish this up, or it's going to be tomorrow morning sometime. But I will get it done this weekend, I promise. And so we will see you in about 1 second. Bye. Okay, I am back. For you, it was only a second or two, and for me, it's a few days later. Life got hectic. I had to get a video or two made yesterday, so yeah. But today is Sunday, the end of the weekend, boo. And I did want to get the rest of this picture colored during the day because, yeah, it's too shiny to do at night when I would have to have the lights on. I was doing something else here, so I do have the light on, but I think I may have to turn that off to finish this picture. And I took the tab out. Here we go. And yeah, I think I'm going to have to turn this light off. And let's see if we'll be bright enough without it. Let me zoom you back down in and we'll kind of see. Yeah, I think we should be okay, huh? Okay, we only have the red going across. So I'm going to turn you. Okie dokie. Now, how is everybody doing? Again, for me, it's a few days later, so not probably not a whole heck of a lot has happened in your world since I left off with this video. For me, a few things have happened, but nothing, you know, just life. Just things to do. And yesterday it was so gorgeous here. The weather was just beautiful. It was nice and sunny out, and it got in the, actually got in the 70s around here. Just lower 70s, but with the sun out, it really felt nice. Unfortunately, I didn't really get outside to enjoy it because I spent the vast majority of the day on the video I posted yesterday, later in the day, and that was how I frame my diamond paintings. And yeah, the video itself only ended up being, what was it, like an hour and 17 minutes, so not that long of a video. But most of the stuff that took the amount of time happened off camera, not on camera, because I had to let things dry in between. So I would pause you, do some things off camera, let it dry for a while, especially when I put glue on to seal the diamond painting. I had to leave that for a few hours while I did some other things. And yeah, so I spent a long time on that video, but now it is done because I had that sitting on my to-do list for quite a while. So I am glad it's done, but one big problem is near the end of the video, my battery started running low on my phone. And when the battery starts running low on an iPhone, it asks you if you want to go into low power mode. Well, when it does that, it disconnects my iPad from my phone, and so I can't see what I'm doing any longer. And when that happened the first time, I just, because this has happened a couple of times in the past, I, am like, oh my gosh, so I took the phone down, and I was gonna re-get it going and whatnot. And when I looked at the phone, it looked like it was still recording, and I'm like, okay. So I reconnected to the iPad and I put it back up, finished recording it, and here, yeah, it was recording the whole while. So there was a whole bunch of gobbledygook in the video, with me taking the phone down, putting it back up, that I did not want you guys to have to see and sit through, so I edited that out. Now, forward to the next time that happened, I'm like, okay, it's still recording, I'll just reconnect. I was assuming, again, it was because of low battery. And why am I having problems with this pen? I hardly ever have problems with these Sargent Arts. So yeah, the next time it happened, I just, reconnected to the phone thinking it's still recording. Finished the whole rest of the color and chat, and went to my computer to transfer things from my phone to the computer via my USB, and the second part of the video was not there. So that whole color and chat, it was kind of a lengthy one too. I'm like, oh my heavens, that whole picture I can't use now. Coloring that, and I think it was for a color along too yet that I was co-hosting. I cannot remember for sure. But yeah. So now yesterday when it happened, I thought, oh Lordy, I do not, because that was the steps I was doing could not have been replicated again unless I wanted to start all over from scratch and reframe an entire another diamond painting. I mean, it just, no, not gonna do it, not gonna happen. So I thought, okay, we are gonna check this. I do not want to lose footage. And yeah, here it was asking me to go into low power mode, but it was still recording. Oh man, oh man, oh man. So I did put it in low power mode, and I knew I was running out of juice. And so yeah, there was a whole bunch of footage in that video that I edited out. So if you do watch that video and you all of a sudden see where the screen changed, it's because I had to edit some things out. You didn't want to get all dizzy watching me taking the phone down off of the holder up above me and looking at things, putting it back up there, then realizing I put it up there wrong and I was recording the ceiling. Oh, it was a trying day today, let me tell you. So then I had to take it back down, put it in the right way, and yeah, all of that was being recorded. So yeah, I had to, when I got it into the editor and added all the clips in, there ended up being 9 clips to that video, 9 different videos that I had to piece together. And when I came to that piece, thank heavens I saw it and I remembered to edit some of that out. When you get those 9 pieces, 9 actual little videos all copied over to the computer, of course you don't know what each video is because it just gives it a generic alphanumeric name. So then I had to go through each video, see which part it was, and then I would give it a new name like part 1, part 2, part 3. If I got one out of order and I seen one video had to be before another one, I would say it was part 1.1. But yeah, I did get them in the right order, so there were parts 1 through part 9. Once I got them in the right order, I could just add them all into the video editor, add in my animations, my screen changing, so it kind of comes back into the next section, if you know what I mean. That makes any sense whatsoever. So yeah, it finally got done and I wanted to get it uploaded right away. So that went out yesterday, but yeah, the one big problem with running out of juice near the end of the video, I kind of got in hurry up mode because I did not want my phone to completely die on me. And I was under 10% power. I didn't know how fast that was gonna run out because when you are recording a video, you use up your battery pretty fast. And with the software I use, you're not really supposed to plug your phone in while you're recording. I am gonna try that though next time. I used to do that when before I started using this software, so I can transmit it to my iPad. So I am going to look and see if I can do that, because I may run into situations like this again. But anyways, back to the story. I know I was running out of juice, got into hurry up mode, and I thought of this after everything was done and the video was uploaded already to YouTube, that you guys at the end of the video never really got to see what the completed diamond painting really looked like, because it still had the painter's tape around the edge. So you never really got a completed diamond, you know, you never really got a look at it completely done. And yeah, I thought of it after the fact, and then I did get a comment on that video, you know, and she was very, very nice about it. She says, I realize, you know, she's a very nice video. I realize you were, you know, running out of power at the end, but it would have been nice, you know, to see the completed diamond painting without the tape on it. And, you know, can you include this maybe in a future video? And I thought, well, yeah, I can. But I'm afraid for those that wanted to actually see the finished picture, the finished diamond painting in its entirety, may not see that video where I show it in. So I put my thinking cap on, especially after I seen that comment. And that's why I didn't get to recording this video as early as I wanted to, because I do want to start working on another Copic marker class from Kitten Clowder, and those take so long to do. Wasn't able to do it at all yesterday because of spending all day on that video, the diamond painting video. And so I thought, oh, there's got to be a better way. I was looking into if I could edit the existing video that's out there on YouTube. There is no way to add like a little segment at the end, which is what I wanted to do. Just do a short little video on what the completed diamond painting looks like and just add it to the end. You know, I still have all the parts, the 9 parts on my computer. I would just make a part 10, re-put all the parts back into the editor, add that last part to the end, re-save it, and you know, maybe just replace the one that's out there with the new one. But you cannot do that in YouTube without, I mean, you can do it. You can replace one. You actually would delete off the old one and upload the new one. But by doing that, you lose all your views, all the comments, any likes, you know, dislikes, what have you, any revenue you made off that video, which I hadn't made any revenue on that video yet from, you know, people watching the ads or whatever appeared in it. But yeah, I didn't want to lose any comments or likes or, you know, anything like that, even though it hadn't been out there for very long and I hadn't had many comments to respond to on it yet. I still didn't want to do that. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is a roundabout thing. And I am just, you can edit the description or the title of a video that's out there. That you can do. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to record just an ending segment showing the completed diamond painting, make it a part 10, redo it all in, you know, create a whole new YouTube video with this new ending on. And I may create a transitional picture that states something about addendum, you know, stating something about, you know, this will be showing the completed diamond painting in its entirety or something. I'm not sure what I'm going to have it say yet. Display that picture on the screen for, you know, a few seconds, and then add this video clip at the end. And then what I'll do is edit the description of the old video that's out there, or edit the title and just say something about, please note there is an updated version of this video, see description below, or something like that. And then down in the description I will link the updated video. Now there may be an easier way of doing that. I could maybe do like an info button. If you watch some videos, they, you know, sometimes they'll be doing a video and then they'll say, and I'll link it up above, and you'll see a little eye, and you can click on that while you're watching the video and it'll take you to something else. I have not ever done that, And, you know, I still would have to create a whole separate video with the new ending to it, showing the completed one. And I'd have to put it right at the beginning of the video, saying, you know, something about, yeah, that wouldn't really work because I would still have to upload a new one. Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, that wouldn't work, even doing that. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to have to do it the way I... See, I'm just kind of brainstorming out loud here with you guys. Seeing what I can do. Yeah, I think I'm just going to put a new one out there. State that it's the updated one. I don't know why you cannot update a video that's out there. You can go into the video editor that's built into YouTube, and you can take out sections of a video. You can, what they call, trim it. So you can remove parts of a video, but you can't add parts. I do not understand why that is. And maybe YouTube Studio will, you know, they are always making enhancements to it. There's been a beta version out, an updated one that you've been able to, you know, try out for a while. And, you know, this feature is not available in there either. So I am hoping maybe sometime in the future they will add some additional editing capabilities to YouTube. So that was my whole dilemma. And yeah, in doing all the researching that I was doing this morning, I just could not find a way of updating that existing video. So we will just do it the roundabout way. And again, maybe I'm totally missing the boat and there's a much easier way of doing it, because you know, I've only been doing this channel for 6 months. Seems like a lot longer than that in one respect, and yet in the other respect, it's like, my gosh, I've been doing this for 6 months already? And yet, it seems like I've been doing it for a long time. But, so I am by no means an expert on YouTube videoing, creating YouTube videos. Let's put it that way. That makes some more sense. Yeah, I don't know if anybody ever really becomes, well, I'm sure there are. I was going to say YouTube experts and know everything there is to know. But yeah, there are some out there that do know a lot. And I mean, yeah, if you need to find anything about anything on YouTube, there's a video out on YouTube about it. That is for sure. So that is your first place to go. I typically go in, you know, and I Google it because, or in my case, Safari it if I'm on my phone or iPad. And I do a Google search, and that Google search will also bring up any search results that include YouTube videos. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. And I sometimes like to actually read the steps rather than just listening to somebody. I guess the best would be to be able to watch somebody do something and then get a printed version of it, because I am one, I have a real good memory, but it's short. And yeah, I try to follow somebody doing something or whatever. It just does not work for me because I just don't remember what I all need to do when they say, you know, go here, go there, click that, do that. I get into the first screen and then I'm like, hey, what did he do? Whereas if you have the steps written out, or you can just go back to that site, see what the next step is, go back to the site you're working on and do that step or the next couple steps, and then go back, and you know, that way you can get through it. But with a YouTube video, it's kind of hard to do unless you're sitting there with pad and paper. You pause the video and you write everything down, which I have done that already too. But yeah, to me it's just easier finding it where the steps are already written out for you. Sometimes I will even print that particular web page and just, you know, print it out, follow the steps then. What does everybody else do? Do you prefer just watching YouTube for how to do something? I do like watching that, like I said, but I need something more. And that's just me. Not everybody is like that. But you sure can learn anything and everything on YouTube, can't you? Just like anything and everything's available on eBay. No matter what you're looking for, it's out on eBay. Maybe expensive, because if it's something more rare or isn't available anymore, even if it's only worth 10 bucks, you're going to be paying $100 for that thing. Yes, if something was discontinued, or yeah, they'll charge you an arm and a leg because they know you can't get it anywhere else. What a bummer, huh? But yeah, like eBay, YouTube, you can find anything and everything too. Or Google. You ever wonder about something? Bob and I do that all the time. You know, I wonder how blah blah blah, or I wonder what blah blah blah. Well, I wonder how old this actor is, blah blah blah. I have to Google it. Bob will say something, I go, oh yeah, I said, why don't you Google that? Or if we see something on TV, and it's like, yeah, I wonder if that person's alive yet, or how old that actor or actress is. So then I'll just ask Siri, push it in, and, you know, hold the button in and say, how old is so-and-so? And then Siri will come back and tell me. So then, I know, I'm getting lazy, but you don't even have to type anything in. I don't use Siri near as much as I should. That's about the only time I use Siri. Or if I want to call Bob, I will say, call Bob on cell, so that it, you know, knows not to call him at work. And it'll say, calling Bob mobile. Let's go this way, so I don't have this page over here hitting my iPad over here. Okay, we are just about done. All I have left are these little yellow squares, and they will go fast. So, enough of me yammering on about this, that, and the other thing in regard to that. Okay, I am going to turn it the other way because I'm hitting it with my arm. Oh yeah, and because this book is smaller, it's not hitting over there. So we will start up here and just do a few rows across at a time. You can see how much easier and faster it is when you do as much as possible in one direction and then turn your page and do as much as possible in the other direction. I'm working on a geometric pattern in the living room right now, and it's got a ton of teeny weeny little lines going this way and that way, and no, yeah, it's all like rectangles. So I will go up and down, do a whole, and it's in 5 different colors. So I will go around and do a whole bunch of the lines going up and down vertically in the one color. Then I'll turn the page, come back and do a whole bunch of the lines that will connect it that were originally going horizontally, but because I turned the page, they're now vertically. Gosh, did that even make sense? Holy moly. But yeah, that's what I like to do. Then you're not flipping the book around. Even when you're not recording, the less you have to flip the book around, the less time it takes, and it's just easier. Sometimes you can't do that because the lines are curved, and you know, that's a little more difficult, but sometimes then I will find myself having to color at odd angles, and then the pen gets a little bit scratchier because you're not coloring, you know, full on, or your coloring isn't as solid. You have to go over it a few times because you get some white in there, or I should say there's some white left in there. But they're all fun to do. Anybody that does patterns and designs probably knows what I am talking about. How many of you, I'm kind of curious about this, how many of you actually do color like geometric patterns and designs and other patterns and designs? I like the most, I like the repeating ones, which I think, you know, it's more of a mandala type thing. But a lot of these type, I really don't know. I love the look of them. Reminds me of a spirograph. Let me zoom you back out a little bit. But I'm like, how, looking at this, would you color it? You know, if you take this all as one color, you're going to be overlapping once you get back here. So then what do you color some of these as? Or do you just go over the top of that color? So this, if this is red and you're coming here with yellow, that one square is then going to change. Does that make any sense whatsoever? I've seen a number of designs like this to color, and I'm like, how would I color that? I really don't know. So if anybody has any suggestions, or if what you think I said was correct, please let me know in the description below, or in the comments, I should say. Here's a good example of a repeating pattern that I like to do. Matter of fact, I've already colored one like this. You know, once you figure out where you want what color, it just repeats across the page. This one too. And yeah, they get, for some people who don't like these types of things, that would get really monotonous and boring as hell for them. For me, I love doing them. It's just simple. You can come up with really neat color schemes. You can use as many colors on this page as you want. You know, just black and red would look fine on this, and then maybe add something, you know, different colors here with a yellow in the middle. You know, something like that. Or you could use 3 colors. There's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 before you get to this. So I probably would use 3 colors. Unless I wanted to use all 6 and do kind of like a rainbow. But I would probably go with 3 and 3 and then do this, something different. You know, whatever. But yeah. So, yeah, I was just wondering how many people do patterns and designs. Or do you like mandalas? Those are actually a pattern, just in round format. So yes, I love mandalas too. They're one of my other favorites. They kind of repeat going around the circle. And that is the one exception. On patterns like this, you know, I always start with one area. I try to determine how I'm going to fit the colors in. With mandalas, I don't do that. I always start in the center. I color that one thing around. Then I try to figure out, okay, I'm going to put the next color out here. I do that all the way around. So mandalas are done a little bit differently. They come out the same, but yeah, you'll see sometimes I go across with coloring these in. Sometimes I go up and down. Whatever I feel like doing. Or sometimes I'll go 2 rows across. Come down and do that column. Not getting into the corners too well here. Once I get to this point in a design, I'm like, okay, let's just get this thing done so I can move on to the next one. Because I'm already coming up, as I'm finishing up one, I'm coming up with color schemes in my head. It's like, oh yeah, I would kind of like those colors together. Or I'll see something on TV. Or the other day, I was looking at the colors in my sandals. They have like a beach scene on them, but they had really pretty colors together. I can't remember what they all were. I think it was like pink and purple and orange and green or something like that. So I did replicate that in a pattern, and I didn't really end up liking the shades that I used. The green ended up being much darker than I would have liked. I should have went with a more brighter green, like a spring green. But once the whole page was done, it actually looks pretty nice. So you will see that in my end of the month video for what I colored for the month of June. Still have a couple of pictures that I want to finish up. Plus, I want to do one more picture for each of the color alongs that I'm in. So I want to do a Jade Summer picture yet, and a fairy picture. I will be putting up a video shortly that shows Happy Mail and a couple of other things that I bought from this same company. And one of them that you should have saw by now, because it should be up before this video, but it's like a smaller fuzzy poster with the black velvet on, and it was a pack of, how many was in there? 6, I think, and one of them was a fairy. So I thought, oh, that would be cute, a cute picture to end my fairy color along for the month. But my last color along picture I did was the fairy picture, so I should really do a Jade Summer picture next, and then that fairy picture last. Because believe it or not, folks, we only have a week left in the month. My heavens, where did the month of June go? Because we have not hit summer here at all, in the least. We have been so cold. But guess what? We have heat coming. Woot woot. It's rainy today. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. But then every day this next week is supposed to get warmer and warmer and warmer. I am giddy with excitement. I know those of you in the South are like, is she nuts? Take some of our heat. But yeah, by next Saturday, we're supposed to be in the upper 80s. Yes, you heard that right. Not upper 70s, but upper 80s, close to 90. The only downside is that there's a chance of rain by the end of the week, so it's going to be muggy also. That's when the heat gets more oppressive, when you have that high humidity with it. Because when it's warm out, I love to have the windows open and sleep with my windows open, let the fresh air in. I had them open yesterday and it just smells so good. But I very rarely turn the central air on. Only when I have to, and when it's really unbearable to sleep. So if that humidity gets too high when it is hot like that, and it just really gets unbearable in the house here, especially with the kids being here every day, the central air may have to go on. I mean, I am lucky enough to have central air. I try to be cost efficient by not running it unless I have to. And when I do turn it on, I turn it on very low. I don't let it get freezing cold in here. Okay, with that being said, ooh, that's too far. There we go. Excuse me. How do you like how it turned out? Boy, yeah, the second part didn't take too long at all. Well, we're at 40 minutes, but yeah, that wasn't too bad. I cannot remember for the life of me how long the first part was. I know it was over an hour, or I believe it was. I don't know. It was a couple days ago. How do you expect me to remember that? So I think this will be maybe an hour and a half to hour 45-minute video. I am going to get this in the editor today, and it probably will be published tomorrow on Monday. I have a couple of other little videos to get out there. Like I said, I want to put that video out from the Happy Mail and the other things I got from, it's called Stuff to Color. So yeah, I want to get that video up this morning yet. And then, like I said, I'll probably get this video out tomorrow. So, I hope you liked watching this color and chat and watching me color this geometric design with my Sargent Art glitter gel pens. Like I said, I'll go ahead and link this book down below. I like the size of it. You know, if you just want to quick do a smaller geometric design page, this is just really nice for on the go, just something quick. They're all simple. Here's another one I'd like to do. So I'll link this book, and I will leave a link to one of these colors of the 25 pack of the Sargent Arts. Sargent Art. I always say arts. It's not Sargent Arts. But yeah, I'll leave a link to one of these 25 packs. The black, again, is not available, I believe. Last time I looked, all the other colors were. So once you get over into Amazon via the link, you can look at the other colors and order any that you want. So if you liked watching this color and chat of this geometric pattern, please hit that like button and subscribe if you are new to my channel. I hope everybody had a terrific weekend, and as always, happy coloring. Bye, guys.